With the Group 1s, I don't like seeing them won by horses who you think, that was an early season fluke job, and there was nothing fluke about Melody Belle. Had to bounce back after Tarapa, which was an awfully hard run. Had a lot of big boys around her at the top of the straight, a little girl like her, only 4 years old, showed that real commands, toughness, and I think there was enough to like about several horses behind her, but very hard to make the case that she doesn't potentially become our weight for age star domestically. Bruce, the question for me is this: they do have some black type in Australia already. Do they want to go back and nibble again? Maybe at the trough at the Mire, at the Carnival or somewhere, because one day she's going to be a broodmare.
Yeah,
and one of those open class weight for age wins in Australia would help.
Yeah, absolutely. She's already got a Group 2 from Doomben as a 2-year-old, the size project. She's a Group 1 winner, weight for age. The question mark perhaps is whether she runs the mile. Do they try it again? She's had a couple of goes and hasn't run the trip. Here's a look at the replay. This young Singapore lad, Shafiq Rusov, geez, he's been a find for Tiakau. He had an awkward gate on Tiakau Shark earlier in the day, and again here from gate 9, it could have been slippery. But he used her pace early and got into a great spot in the one out, one back trailing position.
And it was following the right horse, and John Snow's coming across there, and of course now he podges up in the 1-1 behind John Snow, who you know is not going to stop. And at Hastings, when they fan out at the top of the straight, you do tend to get a run. Ocean Emperor got an easy enough lead shoulder. I thought from there he had his chance and he was exposed, but at this stage of the run, you didn't want to be on any other horse apart from Melody Belle. But when she gets there early enough that a horse like High Flyer has his chance. And at no stage in the home straight did you think he was going to beat her. The horse is willing to forgive, to be honest, anything further back than sixth and anything wide.
It was tough to close on the day, and especially as the track dried out. Here's Melody Belle getting into the clear. The 3-wide train just went nowhere in the race, so I think Scott Bass is very good out wide, but let's pick up the closing stages.
In front, High Flyer comes after it. Our Aberdeen over on the inside. Melody Belle, High Flyer, and our Aberdeen. Melody Belle, she is so tough. Melody Belle, she's been too good for High Flyer.
You were just expecting Melody Belle just to succumb to that, because High Flyer, even though what you said was that he settled well back on the fence, you still wanted him to be getting off around the corner, but you expected him to run her down all the way up the straight and he just couldn't manage it.
He got her back very, very quickly, like he was in the right place to run her down. I just don't think he's as good when you use him early, and they had no choice but to use him.
Use that inside gate.
Yeah, 100%. Look, when you see what Shafiq's done here, we all love Opie, and I think a lot of people think, and quite rightly probably, Opie is the best rider in the country. But if Opie produced that, we'd be sitting here waxing lyrical about what a great rider Opie is and how he's just got lengths on everybody and what a genius he is. Shafiq couldn't have ridden this any better. And you're right, when you look at this picture here from above, the only horse making any ground is Scott Bass out there 4 and 5 wide. And to be honest, outside Tiakau Shark, all day, horses didn't make ground inside that first 4. Where the new ground was, they were good. So for him to make that ground, he was the yes, I really liked it out of the race. But I think there were plenty of like, not sure where that next win's coming from type performances. Melody Belle, as Bruce said, 1600. Jamie Richards is going to take her home and decide what to do next. The market for the Windsor Park plate suggests that the bookies aren't sure either. Let's talk about Jamie. Jamie Richards, like young guy, first winner ever, by himself of course, was a Group 2 with this horse 2 weeks ago. Now Bruce, he's a Group 1 trainer. He's under enormous pressure. The Tiakau horses are flying. He's the next wave of these young trainers we have coming through. John O'Bennett, Andrew Forsman, Stephen Marsh. There's plenty more. Joe Waldron might get his chance one day. We talk about the report on Thursday. There's no point having good racing unless you've got good young horse people, and Jamie's at the forefront of that.
Absolutely, and if we don't change things, then guys like these can be leaving the country. But Jamie's, he's had about 7 winners from his first 14 runners. He's had a terrific start. He was under a lot of pressure taking over that stable, but he is delivering.
It's quite interesting too, just sticking with the Massara report, a lot of the young guys have the opposite opinion about things like artificial tracks than their partners and older guys do, and so I think we've got to listen to those guys going forward in that bigger
It's not
equation.
one size fits all for any type of report, but just getting back to the Tiakau machine, they've come out of the gates awfully hard this spring. They've got all sorts of horses going all places, and Jamie is being very calm. When I texted him last night, he's like, okay, you know, we're going to do this and see how this goes and see how that goes. He's only 29 years old. So, you know, for all the stars we saw yesterday on the track, he's one of those stars who really now is right up in the headlines of New Zealand racing. So, and he's going to need to be, because when you pay that much money for them at the sales, you need a good trainer, and they've got a very good trainer.